Hello, everyone. Good
Hello.
afternoon. Welcome.
Hola, hello everyone, and happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you so much for joining us on this virtual uh, travel and cooking experience to Puebla, Mexico. I'm Pedro Mena, and I'm the Fine Arts Department Chair and Assistant Director of Diversity and Community Life for the middle school at Columbus Academy. So excited for you to join us this evening with our special hosts, Alex y Ale, and I'd like to thank the Office of Diversity Community Life and OLA, our parent group, Gabby May, Amy Gonzalez, Claudia Walter, for co-presenting this special event for our community. So with that, I'd like to pass it on to our special hosts, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you very much, guys. Hello, how are you? I hope you are doing fine. And once again, thank you very much. We have a very nice program for the evening. And thank you very much for coming. And if you are ready, we're going to share our screen and we are going to start, guys. Okay, guys. So once again, we want to thank you all for coming here. We want to thank Columbus Academy for giving us the opportunity to share with us our home, to share with us our culture, and to share with you the deliciousness that Mexican food has to offer to everyone and the diversity it has. We want to thank the Ola parents, for having us here and for sharing this Hispanic Heritage Month with you guys. So once again, thank you very much for allowing us to be with you.
Yes, thank you so much. We are very, very happy of doing this. For us, it's really an honor to show you a little bit of how is Mexico. Maybe some of you have been already here, maybe some of you not, but we hope that with this presentation, you have even more interest, and in the future you can come, you can visit us, and you're always, always welcome in our country. So we want to explain you a little bit about the program.
Yes, guys. So the evening for today, it's first we're gonna talk a little bit about us, who we are, and what do we do, and how did we end up here with you today, being able to share this experience. And then we're gonna have a little market tour, a virtual market tour, which you already saw a little video, but we're gonna go deep into what is a market and all the many things that you can find in a market. Then we're gonna have a little cooking lesson, guys. I hope you have your ingredients ready. No, that's a joke. We don't need ingredients today, but we're going to show you a little video and teach you how to make a quick snack that you can, and that you also have an idea what to expect tomorrow and the upcoming weeks in our cooking lessons. So that's a little something for you to get eager and sign up for the cooking lessons. And we're going to end up with a Q&A, some questions and answers. And any question that you have during the presentation, guys, you can either write it down in the chat. Mr. Pedro is going to help us moderate those questions at the end, or you can raise your hand at the end, and of course we'll gladly answer any question you have for us. So once again, guys, thank you very much, and let's tell you a little bit about us. Okay, guys, so first of all, we want to tell you we are Mexicans, and that is something we are very proud of. Being Mexican, it's something very interesting because I'll tell you something. There's a little joke that Mexicans born whatever we want. So maybe some of you are also Mexicans and you either don't know yet, or you didn't know that saying that Mexicans born whatever they want. It's a little bit more cursy, but you know what I mean. So being Mexicans, it's a great honor for us, guys. Despite we have a international minds because we also consider ourselves citizens of the world. But in order to share this international citizenship, we have to first embrace our Mexican citizenship. And being Mexican, guys, it's something very wide. And you could think, oh yeah, Mexican, charros and beans and down the border. But it's a little bit more complex than that, guys. Mexico, it's a very big country, and it has tons and tons and tons of different cultures within itself. We have northern Mexico, central Mexico, and southern Mexico. And you might believe it's the same, but it is not the same, guys. There are very, very critical differences between different regions. In this case, Ale was born in Puebla City, which is in central Mexico, and I was born in Mexico City, which is also in central Mexico. So despite being from different cities, we share more or less the same culture and the same traditions. So that's something you need to understand Mexico, and more importantly, to understand Mexican food, guys. Our food and our cuisine, it's as wide and it has many, many contrasts as Mexico has. But we are not only Mexicans and citizens of the world, guys. We are also our travelers. We love to travel. And as we told you, Mexico, it's a huge country. Yes, we like to travel to other countries. We've been in the States, we've been in Europe, we've been in Cuba, but we haven't traveled all Mexico. And that is something we really like and we really enjoy, guys. And this traveling around Mexico is what makes us also get to know food and get to appreciate all this food. So when you come to Mexico, guys, don't only think we have the beaches in Cancun or Mexico City. Mexico has tons of different places that you can visit, and every single place is, to say the least, delicious, guys. And all this traveling and all this culture we are proud of has made us become Ale. She has marketers, and we do cooking classes, and all this is inspired in our travels around Mexico and the love for the culture, and also the love for sharing it with people like you guys. So once again, for us, having you here and being able to share what we love, it's a great, great, great honor. And when you come to Mexico, you can come to our house either in Puebla City or in Mexico City, and we can cook some chilaquiles, as you can see on the picture, or we can cook some chiles en nogada.
So a little bit about myself or about my story. I am an independent tourist guide. On this picture, you can see that behind me, there is this big volcano that we have between Puebla and Mexico City. It's called the Popocatépetl. So I like this picture very much because it shows you that Mexico also has mountains, but also has snow. Nobody think on snow when we talk about Mexico. And what about being a tourist guide? Well, I studied tourism administration at the university. And when I finished the university, I moved to Cancun, and in Cancun, I became a licensed tour guide. So after that, I also developed like my own brand. People find me as Vivencias Mexico on the internet. The tours I do are different kind of tours. I am focused more into small groups and private tours. For example, the tours I do are related with the ruralities of Mexico. In this picture, you can see how we visit also these small villages, and the idea is that we have a better idea of how is Mexico, not only in the big cities, also in small towns. I also do archaeological tours, which means that we go and we visit archaeological sites in different parts of Mexico. For example, the picture I am showing you is Teotihuacan, that has one of the largest pyramids in the world. Behind us is Teotihuacan, is the Pyramid of the Sun. I also do cultural tours, which means that we visit museums. And living in Puebla and living in Mexico City, well, we have a city with a lot of museums, especially Mexico City. Now, there's a long, long list of museums you can visit. And another tour I do is the food tours, which is also one of my favorite tours. I usually go to the market and people can try what we have in Mexico, fruits. You can see the picture that I am holding a tray with some snacks, some peanuts, but also some insects. Later, we are going to talk about that market that is located in Mexico City.
Thank you, Ale. And as you can see, guys, these personal experiences, it's what has driven us to where we are right now. And Ale experience with as a tour guide has helped me also a lot to understand how to host people and how to work with people. And that is mixed with my teaching experience, because I'm a pre-K teacher and I consider myself an aspiring cook. I wish I was a chef, but I am not. So, but this is who I am, guys. And besides being with Ale, which is a great honor for me, and she's a very good partner and wife, and really an example how to work with people. I'm also a traveler. As I told you before meeting Ale, for me it was very important to get to know Mexico and to get to know the world. And that has taken me to many different places, and that has made me understand and really love being part of this world and love sharing with people. And that love and that sharing made me become a host. And we used to host almost around 25 to 30 people in our home every year. And you can come to our house and we'll go with you to the market and we'll teach you how to cook. And that also makes me proud of who I am and proud of being a Mexican, sharing all these ingredients and recipes with you guys. And being a traveler and a host also helps me to be a better teacher. I'm a pre-K teacher, so I do understand what be on your or some of your shoes, and kids, I also understand what's being on the other side in front of you as a teacher. I work with pre-K, so I've been working almost 10 years for the American School Foundation in Mexico City. And also one of my passions in life, guys, it's cooking. I have studied a little bit in the Culinary Institute in Mexico City, and despite not considering myself a chef, I think I'm an okay cook. And all these guys, these experiences that we have lived individually and together, is what makes us a great couple, and is what makes us very keen and very happy to offer you, either when you are with us or virtually now this 2020, like host you in our home, guys.
Okay, so let's start with our market tour. So before going inside a market, we thought it was very important to share with you some information about markets. Not many people know, but markets in Mexico are very old and have a very long history. Markets started before the conquest of Mexico. The conquest of Mexico was by the Spanish. But before that, in the 1400s, 1500s, we already had people here in Mexico, the Mesoamericanos, or like the Aztecs, the Mexicas, the Totonacs, the Mayans, and those people were already big civilizations. So we want to show you that on the pictures, there is the representation of one of the largest markets in Mesoamerica, in Mexico. And that was called the Tlatelolco market. The Tlatelolco market was in Mexico City and was big, was huge. When the Spanish came, they were impressed with what they saw. Because according to Hernán Cortés, when he wrote the history of Mexico, he said that every day there was 30,000 people in this market. And what did they sell in there? They had not only fruits and vegetables, they also had animals coming from different parts of Mexico, no, like jaguars and these eagles and snakes, but also they had ceramic. You can see here in this picture how people are exchanging these products, and this is ceramic that is coming from different regions of Mexico. They also have pigments, no, for the paintings or even for the ceramics. They also had textiles or fabrics. You also can see how women, they are wearing this special like a poncho, which is not a poncho, but is how we call it today. And also they brought paper from other regions. They also brought jewelry, and they also brought feathers. Did you know that the most important things at that time were not only silver and gold, Also, they had silver. They had the feathers, which was very important for the penachos, for the headdresses. And the system was not exactly as today. They didn't have like a coin. The way they exchanged the products was because of the barter. No, the barter was how they exchanged products. And the markets were also controlled by the chiefs, like the Tlatoanis, the most important characters of the society. And many, many things happen at the market. You can see actually in this picture down, this one, there is a man looking inside a boy's mouth, because that's supposed to be a dentist. So the dentist perhaps came that day and he was healing people. So markets in Mexico have a very, very long history. And what is important to know about markets? Well, in Mexico, we have different types of markets. And I'm gonna explain you two kinds of markets. One is called tianguis and the other is called mercado. Tianguis is a word that is not Spanish. Tianguis is in Nahuatl. Nahuatl is another native language. And tianguis comes from this word, which is very hard to pronounce, tiyanquistli, and this means public market. So what are the characteristics of the tianguis? Well, the tianguis, they are set only one day during the week. They are not set every day. Tianguis, they usually are set on the street. Actually, you can see here the pictures. You can see that they just close the streets. No, here in this one, they are right there in the town, or here on the stairs. You can see the lady, she's taking advantage on the stairs to set everything. And also they are usually in the main area of the city, in downtown. And the other thing about these tianguis is that they always have a pre-Hispanic background. So in this example, in these pictures that you are seeing, these towns, Acapoaxtla and the other, Cuetzalan, they are little towns or pueblos mágicos here in Puebla. And actually, some of these people, they only speak Nahuatl or Totonac. So that's gonna be a tianguis. And the other that is called mercado, which is the one that we all know, is the difference is that they are set every day. You can go to the market 365 days they are open every single day from Monday to Sunday, and they have more like formal stands. Or you can see here in the picture, no, they have formal stands, they are inside a big nave, and also you can see here in Mexico City, this is a market very famous called San Juan, and everything comes like in the supermarket, like in a package. So you just go there and you just grab whatever you need. So that's gonna be the main difference.
Okay, guys, so now that you know that in Mexico we have mainly two kind of markets, the mercado or the tianguis, and they are very different in almost every country, and every market is very different, yet very similar. And here are 7 things we believe that you must look when you come to Mexico and you go to a market. Number 1, guys, the first thing you need to look for when you come to the market is products from La Milpa. La Milpa, it's a word that is describing the plot. So it's this little piece of soil where you can plant and grow your food. And in Mexico, La Milpa, corn, it's the main product that it's planted in La Milpa. But that's not the only product. And also corn, guys, it is very important to know that in Mexico, we have tons of different kinds of corn. We have yellow corn, purple corn, black corn, blue corn, red corn. So there's not only white and yellow corn, guys. And another thing that's very important from corn, it's something called huitlacoche, which, as you can see in the video, it's a fungus that grows on top of the corn. And it's something that's very, very delicious. It might look a little bit yucky, but it is delicious, guys. And other things you get from La Milpa are pumpkin flowers or the zucchini blossoms, which are delicious. You really need to try them, guys. Fresh herbs, which they grow under the corn, like next to it. And they are very, very fragrant, guys. And we have cilantro, parsley, epazote, papalo, which, by the way, this one, the last one, you can see the on the bottom left, it's one that it's very, very interesting because it's very Mexican. It's very strong in flavor, guys. And either you love it or you hate it. And it's used in Puebla in a very traditional sandwich that's called semita that you also need to try. And almost in every Pueblan market, you'll find semitas. And another thing you'll find are zucchinis, guys. There are different kinds of zucchinis in La Milpa, and they are very fresh and they are very nice. So when you come to the market, guys, don't forget to look for products of La Milpa. Other thing you need to look for are dairy products. And Mexico, I mean, you may not think so, but in Mexico, cheese is very, very, very important. We put cheese almost on everything, not only on quesadillas. And of course, we have tons of different kind of cheese. And of course, because our culture of cheese, it's recent, I mean, like a couple of 100 years old, we're still developing fresh cheese. So the main characteristic of Mexican cheese is that it's fresh. So very low in fat, very mild in flavor, but delicious. And as you can see, we have here the baskets. So that's goat cheese. You can find it in this basket, and that one is very good. And then next to it, guys, it's one of my favorites. It's called requesón. And you see it has a corn leaf covering it, just like tamales, but this one, it's not a tamal. This one, it's cheese, and it's delicious. It's creamy and salty. We also have queso ranchero or queso panela, guys, which are very, very good. And one of the Mexico's most recognized cheese around the world, it's queso cotija, guys. So all those products you can find in the dairies and in the dairy shops in the markets, guys. Also with some tortillas or corn beans, so you can make your pozole. Also, guys, one of the most important places in any market, and these are very different than the ones in the States, for example, are the meat products. You can get meat that you can eat right there, like the barbacoa, which is lamb or goat or sheep cooked under the ground for many, many hours. And that one is delicious, guys. It's very, very good. But we can also get chorizo, which is inspiring the Spanish chorizo, but it's spiced in the Mexican way. And where you get your chorizo, guys, you will be able to get your meat. And butchers, you should always be friends of your butchers, guys, because butchers can give you tons of nice things. We also have chicharrón, guys, and I have a question for you. And actually, I'll ask you later on when we have our questions and answers. There is a saying that says that in Mexico, and in Puebla especially, they only eat 4 things: pueblo, puerco, marrano, cerdo, y cochino. Pig, pork, swine, and hog. So, and that's because pig is very important in our diet, guys. And as you can see here, we have the chicharrón, and we have the meaty chicharrón, and it's delicious, guys. You should eat it when you come to Mexico. And finally, as Ale was talking in the beginning, the pre-Hispanic heritage of markets is very important. And the pre-Hispanic people used to eat a lot of insects because they are high in protein. And despite you might think it's a little bit jokey, they are really good and they are very tasty. And you can see here we have scorpions, or we have worms or ants or grasshoppers. So be risk takers, guys, when you come to a Mexican market, and don't forget to try some insects. You won't regret it, I promise. And then finally, guys, something that's, well, not finally, the 4th thing we're looking into are chiles, because Mexican cuisine has basically 2 main ingredients: corn and chiles. So you need chiles and you need corn to prepare most Mexican dishes, guys. And here we're looking at one of the most traditional and iconic chiles in Mexico, which is the poblano pepper. And it's named poblano because it's produced mainly in Puebla, where we are right now. And it's a very, very nice chile, guys. Mild in flavor, it's not very spicy. And it's actually a hybrid between Mexican chiles and the Spanish bell pepper. Other chiles that we have in Mexico that you may know are chipotle. When it's dry, you know that one. And you know jalapeno, I'm also sure. Jalapeno pepper, it's the name of the chipotle when it's fresh. We have guajillo, which is mirasol, or poblano, which is ancho. or chile de árbol, which we're going to use tomorrow and in the cooking classes to make our salsa, guys. Dried chiles are also very important. And this is one of the main ingredients you need to look for when you come to a market.
So now let's talk about bread. So bread, you know, when people ask me, Alejandra, which is your favorite pan de dulce? Oh my God, that's so hard to say. Look on the video, how many breads do we have? There are thousands. I mean, that sounds like a joke, but it's not. And depending also on the region where you are, they also can have different names. We have conchas, ojo de buey, we have corbatas, orejas, colorados. So the bread basically is divided in three. We have sweet bread, we also have salty bread, and we have seasonal bread. The sweet bread is something we eat for breakfast usually, or for dinner. And the salty bread is, for example, the one you see on the right. This is a sandwich, and this bread is called semita. Or this one, this is called torta. A torta always has like a line in the middle. So this is just for preparing some kind of sandwich. And then we have the seasonal bread, which is also very interesting. You know that we do a lot of parties in Mexico, so we have parties almost all the time. There is a bread called pan de fiesta. Pan de fiesta is when you have a party, but not exactly in your house. It's the party of the town when they are celebrating, for example, the Lady of Guadalupe. So out of certain churches, they sell pan de fiesta, but also this one that is pink, like a fluorescent, this could be a special bread, or this one that are kind of cones with meringue, or this one. Look to this bread. This is an altar, and this is bread for Dia de Muertos, pan de muertos. In certain regions, people, they prepare bread, or they also build altars when they are remembering those people who passed away in the last year. So look to this altar, is huge, and it is made only with bread. So this bread, you don't find it every day. This is a very special bread. So this is also something very, very Mexican we have in Mexico, no? Bread, pan de dulce. And a market cannot be a market without a piñata, of course, no? There is always piñatas around markets, but let me tell you something. Maybe you don't know this, but the traditional piñatas, they were for Christmas. We didn't have in the past piñatas only for parties. It was only a tradition for Christmas. And the traditional piñata was like this, was a big star with 7 peaks. And each peak represented a scene. So in Christmas, people broke the piñatas and broke the scenes, no, the bad things, and all the good came out, the candy and the fruit. So that was the purpose of the piñatas, no, celebrating the end of the year, etc. But then with the time, the piñatas became special things for parties. So now everybody, when they are celebrating an important event, they also have a piñata. We have small piñatas, big piñatas, all kinds of piñatas. And another thing about piñatas is that sometimes they also are artifacts to show that you are demonstrating, no, that you are not agree with something. On the right, you can see the coronavirus, no? You can see how Mexicans, they are always inventing a lot of things. So this is gonna be crack, no? And when all this is over, everybody is gonna go to the market and we are gonna buy a piñata and we are gonna smash the coronavirus. So we're gonna be happy at the end. And well, the other thing you can find in a market that also we consider was very important to show you that perhaps people don't notice that is Mexican creeds. Most of the Mexicans, we are Catholic, no? So in every market, you're gonna find an altar like this one. And the altar usually has different images. No, it can have the Lady of Guadalupe or any patron. In the altar, people go there every morning and people pray, or for them, it's very important just to, when they cross in front of the altar, just to bless and etc. So this is the Catholic altar in every market. But also about the creeds, we also have remedies. There is an area in the markets where you can find a lot of remedies, no, homemade remedies. And these remedies can be syrups, or they can be teas, no, or they can be creams, no. They promise that you're gonna be very thin and that you're gonna recover from something. So in this kind of stands, you can see all this, no, all kind of teas. And the other is this one, this picture that you see down. This is more related with the syncretism. Syncretism is like the fusion of the religious things, like the Catholic things, and the shamanism, or these kind of other remedies. So in Mexico, it's gonna be quite common to find lucky charms, no? Or when people want to have good luck, they also have, for example, certain candles or certain images. So this is gonna be in another area of the market. And this is gonna be, of course, for people who believe in other things, like in luck, in good luck or in bad luck, no? So that was what we wanted to share with you today about markets.
7 things, guys. 7 things that you need to look for whenever you come to Mexico and you come to a market. And right now, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video we prepared for you. It's a little snack that you will prepare in your home, I'm sure, because it's very delicious and it's very easy to prepare. It's called chicharrón de queso and guacamole. You maybe know guacamole, but I am pretty sure you don't really know chicharrón de queso, or not most of you at least. So enjoy the lesson, guys, and the ingredients are at the end of the video, so I'm sure Mr. Pedro will also be able to give the ingredient list to you guys. Okay, guys, so as I told you, we're gonna make today 2 different snacks. Actually, 1 snack and 1 salsa. We're gonna make our chicharrón de queso and our guacamole. So our ingredients for our chicharrón de queso, it's only 1 ingredient, which is very easy. And for our chicharrón de queso, we need Gouda cheese, or any cheese that melts. Okay, so in this case, we're gonna use Gouda cheese. So that's for our chicharrón de queso. And for our guacamole, we're going to need avocado, onion, tomato, cilantro, lime, and our chopping boards, guys. So let's start, and we're going to start with our chicharrón de queso. For our chicharrón de queso, we are going to need a non-stick pan and spatula and grated cheese. First, you need to spread your cheese on top of the surface of your non-stick pan. Try to spread it evenly over the surface, so no clumps are formed. After a couple of minutes, you will see the cheese starts to bubble. Move the pan around to help it cook evenly. You'll know it's ready when you can unstick the edges from the pan, and it's only 1 piece of cheese. Once you can move the cheese around the pan, it's time to flip it like a pancake. Once you flip it, let it cook for 30 more seconds. Chicharrón de queso is presented in a roll when you go to a restaurant. To shape it, we're gonna use a rolling pin. We take it out of the pan and we put it on top of the rolling pin to shape it in a tube. It's still soft. Once it gets cold, it will get crispy and delicious. To prepare our yummy guacamole, we need avocados. The first thing we need to do is cut them
to remove the seed in order to take the pulp out of the avocado. We are going to remove the seed with the knife. Be very careful when you do this. Once you cut all the avocados, using a spoon, remove all the pulp and put it inside a bowl so you can smash it using a fork. I like a very smooth guacamole, but if you like a chunky guacamole, leave some pieces in it. Once you smash your avocado, it's time to dice our onion. Once again, I like very small fine pieces of onion, but you can chop it to your personal taste. After you have chopped your onion, add it to your guacamole. Now, you need to dice your tomato. Same as with the onion, if you like very small pieces, go for it. If you like a chunkier guacamole, make your tomato dices bigger. After the onion and the tomato, it's time to add your cilantro. Please be careful with those fingers. Now we add some fresh lime. This will prevent the guacamole from oxidating and will keep us some freshness. Now it's time to add salt and pepper to taste. It's very important to use salt and pepper because it will help to balance the flavors and it will enhance the deliciousness of our guacamole. Mix everything until it's perfectly combined and then you will have a very, very Mexican guacamole. Enjoy! To present our chicharrón de queso and guacamole, we're going to use a chopping board. Remove the rolling pin from your chicharrón de queso. By now, it should be hard and crispy. Place the guacamole next to your chicharrón de queso on top of the board and make it look nice, which it won't be really hard.
Okay guys, so this is our chicharrón de queso and our guacamole, and as you can see it's a very, very easy snack to make and it's very delicious. And now we only have to eat it. You just grab a piece, as you can see it's very crunchy. You grab your guacamole, be generous with it, some lime, and provecho guys. Muchas gracias. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed that recipe. And
Very easy.
very, very easy, and it's very, very yummy guys. So this is the end of our presentation. We want to thank you. We hope you enjoyed the market. We hope you learned a little bit, but most than everything, we hope that when you can in the future guys, you come to Mexico and join us.
At the market, yes, exactly. So we want to hear you. We would like to hear your questions or your comments. If you want to comment something.
And before those questions, guys, don't forget, we have our virtual cooking class tomorrow on October 3rd, October 8th, and October 15th. So shoot those questions, guys.
Hola.
Hola.
Yo soy Katie, mucho gusto.
Hola.
Mucho gusto, Katie.
So just coincidentally, I'm having some friends over in a few minutes for dinner. We're starting to make our guacamole right now. And I have been telling everyone that you don't put ajo very often in guacamole. And so my friend who's helping me here, she just got to watch you make authentic guacamole with no ajo. We're making that, but I'm also going to try the chicharrón de queso because we have some Gouda in the refrigerator. And you've inspired us to make that tonight too for a little bocadito before dinner. So
very good.
Gracias.
Happy to
No,
know
yes,
that.
Katie. And yes, you're right about the ajo. Normally, at least we don't use ajo. But if something I have learned about cooking, there are many different recipes.
Al gusto, right?
Of course, I know some people use powdered garlic, but I personally prefer our guacamole just as you saw. Simple,
Yep.
plain and simple.
I agree. Gracias.
De nada, thank you, Katie. Blee has a question regarding the cheese. What other cheese we can use besides?
Katie will be about 10 minutes late getting over there.
What other cheese
Venga.
can? Sorry, guys. What other cheese can you use about besides Gouda? We have tried. I have tried Manchego cheese and Chihuahua cheese, Blee, but I am pretty sure any cheese that melts and that has a high amount of fat, because as you can see in the video, the pan is very fatty at the end, but we didn't add any fat, any oil or any grease. So Manchego, Chihuahua, or Gouda are the Mexican cheeses. Well, Gouda is not Mexican, but the cheese we use in Mexico. But I'm sure almost Monterrey Jack might work actually. So any cheese that melts works, Blee.
I have used Parmesan, and it works with that too.
Yes, it works with Parmesan. Though, if you use Parmesan, I have to warn you, it burns very fast. So you need to be like right there. Don't leave the pan without an eye, because Parmesan burns super, super fast, and it goes very bitter after it burns.
Well, I wanted to make a comment. And here is when you can tell the difference that you were talking earlier about, depending which region of the country you are, there are some differences. Like we use a lot of, well, not a lot, but we put pepper in the guacamole. And another thing that we put is queso fresco. So, and that is something that I only have seen in my family. And I don't know if it's because of the region or who started that, but we do put cheese in the queso fresco in the guacamole. And
Where
another
is your
thing,
family from?
Puerto Vallarta.
Okay.
And another thing is, in our area, what we call milpa, which you were talking about earlier in the video or the presentation, is the plant of the corn. And the piece of land where you plant the produce, we call it parcela. And then that's another variation depending on the zone of the region of the country that you are from, is the different names that you give to the same things.
Yeah, exactly. About the milpa, milpa is a word that comes also from the Nahuatl, from mili. Mili, that would be the word. And that is the piece of land, is the meaning. But usually people get confused and they think it's only the corn, the plant, because it's what usually people get on this piece of land. So you are right. Most of the time people think that milpa is the corn, but also milpa is this like the fields, no?
Thank you for the presentation. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Pueblo and wanted to be there and eat all that.
What's your favorite meal of all time?
My favorite meal of all times, tacos al pastor. That's easy. I mean, I'll tell you something. I love pizza and pasta. I mean, it's one of my favorites, and they are right there. But tacos al pastor, just a little bit.
And my Mexican favorite dish is flautas ahogadas. It's like tacos dorados, but they are drawn in a green sauce with sour cream and cheese and lettuce.
What's your favorite Mexican dessert to make?
The corn one.
That's a very good question. I'm pretty sure you are familiar with cornbread, which is something very American. There is something called pastel de elote, which is corn cake, and it's similar.
But it's better. We promise it's better. Because it's moist and it doesn't have harina.
It's flourless. It uses corn flour. It doesn't use wheat flour, and it's corn flour. It doesn't use any flour. It uses corn, the corn kernels, and it's very moist. So that would be my favorite Mexican dessert, corn cake.
I have a question. After we visited the pyramids outside of Mexico City, we went to I guess a famous restaurant that's down like in a big cave. And that's the first place we tried crickets. What is your favorite insect to eat, and how do you prepare it?
Okay, yeah, you went to La Gruta, no? The restaurant that is down. Well, I have tried many of them. For example, chicatanas, the worms. There are different kinds of worms. There is the big one that is like gray. I didn't like that one very much because it was like chewy. And there are the others that are called chinicuiles. Chinicuiles, I like them because they don't really taste too much, and you can mix them with some tacos and cheese and avocado. For me, I would say in general, crickets. Crickets could be like the most common insect I could eat, especially when they are prepared with salt, with garlic, and with some like chile de árbol. But it's something about the insects, it's something we don't really cook in big cities. It's something that you eat usually in small towns, and you already buy them cooked. I don't know about you, Alex.
Me, I just wrote on the chat my favorite one. It's called escamoles. Maybe you have tried them if you visited Mexico. This is the Mexican caviar. And I've seen brainy face, you might be a little jockey about the worms, but I promise you, these ones are delicious. Escamoles are the eggs from the ants, so the larvae. And they are hugely expensive, like literally like caviar. Yeah. And they are very soft, very mild in flavor, but they do have a flavor, and you only prepare them with butter and epazote and in a taco. That's it. And they are delicious. And if you can come and try them, please do, because escamoles are exquisite, guys. It's only in rainy season, and they are quite expensive, but if you have the opportunity to try escamoles, please do, because they are very yummy.
Yeah, and also they have a lot of protein, no? Sometimes we don't think about that, but the amount of protein insects have, especially crickets, it's like eating a little portion of meat. So they say that in the future, that's gonna be our diet. We are gonna go back to our roots, maybe, we don't know.
Gabby can help me with this one. The best meal I had in Mexico was at in Angueo at the woman's house. She made us, was it chili relleno? And
chili relleno?
Why was it so amazing there?
But I understood Angangeo?
Angangeo, sí.
Oof, because Michoacán is delicious.
And it was a lady, a grandma that made chiles rellenos for the group. And so it was homemade. It was just delicious.
Yeah, sometimes we say it's because of the love you put into the food. I don't know. I would sometimes say to Alex that when you are happy, also you think that was the best taco or that was the best barbacoa, because it's a combination of the good food, but at the same time that you are happy. So you enjoy in a different way the flavors, right?
The companion makes it very important. Who you share your food with makes it taste better, I promise. Well, Mr. Pedro, I don't know if you have anything else like you would like to share or to ask.
Thank you so much, Alex Yale.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Gracias.
It's been a pleasure.